Rishus President Emeritus Richard Joel, Rishus Moreno V'Rabbeinu, our illustrious Roshei Yeshiva, Rishus, our Chairman of the Board, Lance Hurt, our former Chairman of the Board, Rabbi Joel Schreiber, our former Chairman of the Board, my uncle, Rabbi Julius Berman, Binyamin Kamenetsky. We can applaud Julius Berman, that was good. Binyamin Kamenetsky and all the members of the trustees of REITs, our dear friend, Vice Chair of Yeshiva University and Trustee of REITs, Mr. Elliot Gibber, distinguished honorees, world leaders of the Jewish community, dear alumni, family and friends, and most importantly for me, my wife Anita, with whom I enjoy celebrating our wedding anniversary today in the privacy of our dear friends. The Chag HaSemikhah is a singular event in which we call to mind et asher einenu po, those who are no longer here with us, with et asher yeshnu po, with those who are sitting in this very room. We are today the most historic and impactful yeshiva arguably in world history because we transmit very clearly and intentionally the Masorah of our past to the students of our future. And I want to begin my remarks by invoking the neshamot of all of the yeshiva leadership of the past, all of our Rebbeim and administration, including Moreno V'Rabbeinu, Rabbi Dr. Norman Lamb Zatzal, who graced us with his words and presence all of these years. And on just this past Friday, we commemorated his 4th yahrzeit. May his neshama have an aliyah. We also know that especially this year in Israel, we have lost too many soldiers, hostages, and victims to terrorism. Each loss a painful one. We featured at our main commencement ceremony a video of our thousands of alumni who made Aliyah. Among them, we lost 10 soldiers from our YU family since October 7th. And with profound pain, I share with you this morning that yesterday there was an 11th. Sergeant Elio Moshe Zimbalist was in the Namer in Rafah when it was attacked. He is the son of Simi Zimbalist and Sarah Klavan, 2 Yeshiva University graduates who made Aliyah. He served as a hero and fell in this battle for Israel's freedom. Yehi Zichro Baruch. Before we can even begin this program, I invoke these neshamot. We are standing here today because of their sacrifice. Each of us know that our lives have been fundamentally different since October 7th, as we dedicate every single day in some way to fight for Israel and for the Jewish people. There are some here in this room who deserve special recognitions for their roles. For example, Ambassador Jack Lew, former Secretary of Treasury and current U.S. Ambassador to Israel, who is here to celebrate his son's smicha. But all of us are doing so in each in his or her own way, every single day, fighting for Israel and fighting for the Jewish people. And of course, none have paid the ultimate sacrifice like our heroes in the IDF and the victims of terror. So we begin our day by acknowledging them and paying tribute to them, which frames the entire ceremony today. My dear Musmachim, you emerge today in a world very different than the one that existed when you entered into the yeshiva. In some ways, this is the most challenging time to be a rabbi. Israel is at war. Anti-Semitism is on the rise. Vile words and protests unseen in your lifetimes are commonplace across our country. As future leaders and representatives of the Jewish people, you are stepping into an uncertain time, a concerning world, a place in which the eyes of the world can be felt upon us. Yet this is also the best of times to be a rabbi, for the eyes of the world are upon us. Israel needs its defenders. Our people need its ambassadors. And Jews throughout the country and the world are looking for guidance. There is a great Jewish awakening that is happening at this very moment, especially for those Jews who first realized on October 8th that those who they thought were their friends are treating them differently, and now are seeking to better understand their identity and their difference. And even for the Jews within our own community, after experiencing the watershed event of October 7th and its aftermath, have been more vigilant and serious in pursuit of their purpose. The Jewish search for meaning has become explicit, where religious commitment and ideology once again has a place in the center of profoundly personal conversations with the hand of God through history can be gently felt on the shoulders of the Jewish people. And many are questioning their role during this time of consequence and great import. There are opportunities today as a rabbi that simply did not exist previously. People in search of meaning, truth, and a way to anchor their lives into something eternal. The eyes of the world are upon us. And this creates a charge and a mission, for there is a special opportunity to make a Kiddush Hashem. In a way, it would suggest that you, as YU rabbis, have been uniquely prepared to answer. You have been trained and you have been educated to meet this moment. The Talmud in Yoma describes that there are certain qualities and characteristics of a Kiddush Hashem. Abai Omer Kedatanya V'Hafta Hashem Elokecha She'Shem Shemayim Etahev Al Yadcha. What does it mean to love Hashem your God? It's not that you should just love Hashem your God, but you're required to make the name of God more beloved through your actions. She'Kori V'Shoni Mishamesh Teminei Chachamim. You sit and you learn and serve under the sages. You interchange pleasantly with all those around you. And what do the people of the world say about you? Ashrei Aviv shelimdo Torah. Ashrei Rabo shelimdo Torah. Fortunate is your father who taught you Torah. Fortunate is your rabbi who taught you Torah. See how pleasant are their ways, how beautiful their deeds. Allah v'kasav omer v'yomer li avdi ata Yisrael asher b'cha et pe'er. It's in you that God says that I will be glorified. This is a powerful description of Kiddush Hashem and what it means to be a Jewish leader. A Jewish leader makes others want to lead. A Jewish leader doesn't just love Torah, they make others fall in love with Torah. A Jewish leader doesn't just have faith, but helps others find faith. If you notice, the Gemara quotes two different sources. Ashrei Aviv shelimdo Torah, the source from the home. Ashrei Rabo shelimdo Torah, the source from the Beit Midrash. Why are both of these sources necessary to create the Jewish leaders who are inspired and who inspire? I would suggest that for those of you who are familiar as students of our yeshiva, this distinction in light of the Masorah of the Rav, Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik Zatzal, is very clear. There is a Torah that is transmitted through the home, and there is a Torah that is transmitted through the house of study, the Beit Midrash. Both are integral in ensuring the next generation develops their own relationship with Torah. The Torah of the house of study, the Beit Midrash, is a Torah that is analytical, authentic, uncompromising, and the embodiment of truth. This is our Torah's emes, which is the enduring Jewish conversation that brings together the symposium of generations. As Rabbi Soloveitchik explains, for halachic man, the Torah doesn't meet the world, but it's a lens through which one sees the world. In universities, theoretical research is prized. Scientists devote their lives to systematic explanations of underlying beliefs and assumptions, developing new theories and hypotheses to explain natural phenomena. We have at YU, for example, a PhD program in math with internationally recognized mathematicians. And when I visit them in their classrooms, it's like peering into a different world as they work on complex equations for dark matter and map the universe with theoretical constructs. Lahavdil, Torah's emes is its own world. When one studies it, one is not bringing down the Torah into this world. One is raising oneself up into its domain. Property is divided by amos. Sunsets usher in zmanei tefillah. Tastes are seen through kazesim. This pristine halachic world is best perceived by those who are masters of its literature and concepts. Pekudei Hashem yesharim u'mesamchei leiv, the geschmack of learning, of formulating a chakira, seeing the nafkaminas play out through the Rishonim, is one of the greatest joys of being allowed entry into this room. Ma'ahavti Torasecha. The Torah is our delight, for by studying it, we draw closer to Hashem. It is the entryway into God's world. This is the Torah of the Beit Midrash. But the Torah of the home is different. It's not our entryway into another world, but God's entryway into this world. It is a Torah that is welcoming, organic, rhythmic, providing a spiritual cadence to the everyday motions of our lives. It is a Torah's Chaim that is addressed to everyone within the home, master and novice alike, no matter his or her station, experiences, personalities, or closeness with the text. Rav Kook, in his commentary in the Siddur, Olat Riyah, sees these two archetypes as embodied within the leadership of Moshe and Aaron. Moshe is the Rebbe. He developed the Torah of the Beit Midrash. K'shahaya asuk lahorod la'am Hashem haderech hayashar hayta ikar pulato gavoha ma'madrega ha'memunit. That when he taught Torah, all he focused was on the true and the right, less so about what was happening with the people. Aaron, however, had a different form of leadership. He embodied the leadership of the Torah of the home. Lezet tzarich liot ragil ben hahamon. Ladat seitam u'boam. He had to be amongst the people. Oev shalom v'rodev shalom. Likvo imam liitim lo rechokot siach kodesh alodot hanagatam. Lechazek rucham b'davar tov sha'asu. Laharot lehem ma'gadlu ma'asehem v'nechmadu. Kedei sheyasimu alev litzchazek. The Maseh HaTov. He walked with the people. He spoke with the people. He strengthened the people and enabled them to find meaning and the purpose of Torah in their lives. Interestingly, Rav Kook says that it's not Moshe alone or Aaron alone that's the ideal. Moshe va'Aaron b'choanav u'Shmuel b'korei Shemo. It was Shmuel, who was a Navi and a Nazir, kulo laHashem, who also walked around to meet the people where they are, who combined the Torah's emes of Moshe with the Torah's Chaim of Aaron and introduced the people to two worlds. The enduring world of Torah's emes emblazoned with truth, and the way in which the Torah responds to the urgent needs of one's day-to-day experiences, the Torah's Chaim that uplifts one's life. These two facets, the enduring and the urgent, the emes and the Chaim, need to both be watched carefully and protected. Far too often, there are rabbis who do not have their finger on the pulse of today and live more fully and comfortably in the pristine plane who either not sully themselves with worldly matters, even worse, do so, but do so poorly without a firm grasp on reality. Alternatively, there are rabbis who truck in the present without the education that such a plane of emes even exists. They're limited in their service for our people, for they cannot authentically bring the majesty of Torah to others and orphan warp the Torah's prescriptions as to how to address today's challenges. Your Roshei Yeshiva, though, are role models and guides as modern-day Shmuels, who are the rightful heirs of the Mesorah of both Moshe and Aaron. And the Jewish world has taken notice, even over these past few years. Who are the rabbis who responded with the breadth of knowledge of science and a concern for the safety of our Jewish and non-Jewish neighbors during COVID, following in the footsteps of our Mesorah to prioritize life even at the cost of canceling shuls and schools? Who are the rabbis who not only said to the students, you should go to Washington to join the national rally in November, but also went with them on the buses, teaching them Torah all throughout the day-long travel? A rabbi in Boston just told me the story that the Jewish students there planned the Yishai Ribo concert at MIT to support Jewish students and to combat and protest the anti-Semitism. The organizers called him to ask him if he would bring the Orthodox students, but he realized that it was during Sfira. So he called Rav Shechter, thinking that he wouldn't be able to bring the students. And Rav Shechter said that not only is it mutter to go, it's a mitzvah to go. At this time, this is what we need to do. Our Mesorah is to respect both planes of the Torah's emes and the Torah's chaim, and be the bridge for our communities and our students to gain access to both of these worlds. It is through this combination of Torah's emes and Torah's chaim that we flesh out and fully appreciate our other core values, where the Rav speaks clearly about Torah's Adam, about respecting the individual creativity of each and every person, about Torah's Chesed, about a Torah that prioritizes kindness and compassion, and Torah Tzion, which is not about just Israel, but also about Israel, but also about seeing yourself in the grander purpose of the Jewish people and bringing Geula to the world. This is our brand of Torah that simultaneously insists on Torah's emes and Torah's chaim, that's rooted in tradition while promoting creativity, that respects each individual while insisting we devote ourselves and our lives to others, that directs us to address the urgent, even while protecting the sanctity of the enduring. My dear students, you have devoted years of your life in our Batei Midrash. You have seen our Torah values on our walls, but more importantly, you've experienced them every day in your interactions with your Rebbeim and your peers. You bring the derech eretz, the character, and the wisdom that is the hallmark of musmachim from this yeshiva. After over 100 years, the strength of this Mesorah is so strong because you are emblematic of our ways. And this gives you an enormous opportunity today. Who are the ones that are able to spread the love of Torah? We are all here, are sitting today to attest to the fact that you have learned and you have studied and spent days and months and years and years and years of your lives. That we who know you and love you see the kindness with which you interact with your fellow colleagues and with others. Ashrei Aviv shelimdo Torah. Ashrei Rabo shelimdo Torah. This whole room is a manifestation of these dual influences. There's a partnership. Behind you and on the side of you are your parents, grandparents, and families. They certify that you have successfully received the Mesorah of your home. And in front of you are your Rabbeim, who have given you the MS of Torah and taught you by word and example how to both elevate others to see it and infuse it in the world for all to experience it. Ru'u kama na'im darachav, kama mitukunim ma'asav, alechem akatuv omer, vayomer li avdi ata Yisrael, ashebecha et pe'er. We all see your demeanor, your purpose, your potential. And in this world that we're living, we are confident they will bring your values to sanctify God's name in this world. My dear Musmachim, we are living in complicated times, urgent times that demand enduring answers, and we need you. Your future students and communities need you, the Jewish people need you, and the world at large truly needs your moral voices today. With all that is happening in the world, we are confident that the Shem Hashem mitahev al yadcha, that through you, the name of God will spread and become even more beloved. With everything we've put into you, this whole room, all together, you were made for this time. This is your moment. Alu lahatzlichu, go out and make us proud. Mazel tov.
the